Thank you so much for being here today. I know you're so busy and we're all so grateful. I have a question. Well, I have a lot of questions, but just wanted to start with focusing the people who come to the Jural Assembly meetings on what you would consider a plan. So we educate, we have people more and more interested, learning, and then want to run for their positions, and then we fill our seats and we have a good team working together. Then what would you advise for, I mean, with so much going on, and really I personally feel like it's about protecting life more more than anything at this point, with our jural assemblies. And we did have a good discussion on North Carolina about our strategy and what we wanted to work on. And I think people just aren't sure because there's so much to focus on. What would it be a good basic looking forward, and how we want to, of course, show our provenance and do our all of our notices, etc. But then would the jury work together to bring forth presentations of things that would protect the people? Would it have to do with those who have had unjust laws, um, thrown at them and they're imprisoned? I mean, there's just so much what direction to go in. And of course, it depends on the people on that jural assembly meeting and what they bring. But what do you see? I'd love to hear what you think. And sorry for talking so long about our questions, but it just really is a really wonderful thing to focus on, especially when we are all just learning how to be the people and be our own government. Thank you so much. I yield.
This is going to come as a great shock, even though actually all of you know this information already. The government is shut down. The government that you have known all your lives is shut down. Stop a moment and think about that. It's being staffed by volunteers.
There's no one here but his chickens.
That's right. So you've got thousands of military employees who are showing up to work who aren't getting paid. You've got thousands of federal civil service workers who are showing up to work and not getting paid. Everything is actually shut down. We had a very wealthy American, rumored to be Tim Mellon from the Mellon Bank, step forward and pay out $130 million to pay the top flag officers and the most important essential military personnel to maintain our protection grid. Think about that. The government is shut down. The Supreme Court is working without pay and largely without authority. They can speak to issues for the corporation, but otherwise they cannot decide a lot of issues because it's not a lawful government. I have talked about this for many years, that they are just corporations. You've got a set of commercial corporations and you've got a set of municipal corporations. Now, the municipal corporations arguably have the ability to tax, but there's a problem. According to the Constitution, they're limited to the city of Washington, D.C. They're not supposed to be operating in the states of the Union. So how did they get out into the states of the Union? Well, as I demonstrated using Alaska and the Constitution of the state of Alaska as an example, the territorial government breached the Constitution, breached our trust, and set up territorial administrative states, and then contracted with the municipal corporations to provide them with services, not us. And they brought the municipal corporations into our states of the Union on the pretense that they were there servicing a contract, a service contract with the territorial government. So now what happens when the municipal government is bankrupt and unable to function? Well, then the municipal government cannot collect taxes. They cannot process court cases. They cannot pay SNAP benefits or disabilities. The only reason that Social Security is still functioning is that Social Security is set up as a separate system. Okay? So their entire little arrangement that allowed them to collect taxes and to distribute money into all these programs is gone. The mechanism is gone, and that's why the entire government is shut down, both municipal and territorial. And we're it, folks. I've been saying this for I don't know how many years now. This is your government. You're it. And we have to stand up. We have to be here. We have to be present. We have to do this for ourselves, and we have to do it for our kids. All right? We don't have any choice. We're the ones that are here. And sure, there'll be a lot more who now join us because they finally wake up and realize, oh my, we almost lost our entire country. All right? But we're it. And this is not a drill. As of November 1st, this is serious. All right, so we're not going to talk about, oh, it's so nice to think about, how the juries are supposed to work. Those juries are going to have to work because they're the only juries they're going to be. Now think about this. Everything, all aspects of government that you can think of, except for us, have been incorporated. The counties have been incorporated. The states have been incorporated. The states of states have been incorporated. And they've all been run by foreign governments. And that whole structure is gone. District courts? What district courts? District should, that word should just kind of go, wah, wah, wah. Serinola sensors should be going off like crazy, and you should be going, district, as in District of Columbia? District courts can't address us. District courts are limited to district personnel, district citizens, district functions. Okay? There should be no district courts operating in our states of the Union except territorial courts addressing territorial personnel and citizenry. All this has been wrong. All of this that you are used to is wrong. All of it's been predicated on fraud and usurpation against the people of this country and against its actual government. The whole business that we have going on with these foreign public trust entities being named after us, that's a result from illegal latching upon us. It's illegal latching activity, illegal salvage, as if we needed to be salvaged by the British government. So it's time to stop playing around with this and thinking that, oh, well, someday we'll get our drill society up and running, and our drill assembly will have enough jurors someday. No, you have got to get your drill assembly together right now and get damn serious right now, because if you don't, guess what? Then the only form of justice you will have will be a martial law court, and you will be subject to a foreign martial law tribunal that can kill you at their whim. So, everybody, it is absolutely imperative that you stand up your own courts for your own assembly members, so that when the moment comes, you can say, well, we have our court stood up. We have our court, so we don't need you. And we're going to take action and put it before you all to make that court system very, very simple, so that you don't have to worry too much about policy and procedure, so that you can develop your own case law and not be hindered by the past. And those initiatives are going to be placed before the state assemblies as roll call vote initiatives.
Wait,
You'll see what we're doing.
What's going to be presented as a roll call initiative? Could you say a little bit more about that?
There are a number of measures that we need to take to simplify the whole setup of the law and what the juries have to deal with. We are not going to try to keep up with 80 million statutes and codes. We're not going to worry about a great many of the past issues. We're just going to concentrate on providing ourselves with a workable, commonsensical system now, so that we continue to have law and we continue to have order, but we don't have a lot of, how could I say this? We're not going to be hindered and crippled by trying to undertake a study that takes 8 years in 8 days. Okay, we're not doing that. And it's all going to be submitted to each one of the assemblies soon. And each one of the initiatives will be described. A brief abstract of the pros and cons will be included. And then it's up to you folks. We're going to reform the courts. We're going to reform the money. Those are the two primary goals that we have and that are immediate and necessary. And then we're going to quietly set up our entire system as it's meant to be set up and begin the process of actually looking at restructuring, reconstructing, bringing America back into the form of government that it is intended and meant to have. So this is not theoretical anymore. This is not someday, this is today. And this is going to come very quickly because it needs to, because it has to, in order to save lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And thank you so much for that impassioned response. And it is essential and it is so important that we get our acts together and do this now. Keep it simple. And there's plenty of really good, simple pamphlets out there that we can study, principles of common law, and start thinking about the people that we're here to protect as the government. It's our job. And so, yeah, we're feeling a lot of enthusiasm toward that. And any help we can have, we all appreciate. So if something's coming forward for our assemblies that we need to start working on, then we're open arms and looking forward to getting going with that. So thank you so much.